Welcome back to Star Wars Rebellion. We're playing as the Empire, and we are continuing on with our turn. And we're starting now with the Advance the Time Marker. So we're going to go over there, we're going to advance the Time Marker, and we're going to see where we are with regards to the Rebel Alliance influence meeting the Time Marker. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, so the Time Marker is going to go ahead 1. It's going to go from here to 4. And we do have the recruit symbol and the construct symbol. So we're going to be recruiting new leaders. Also going to be doing construction on those planets that are eligible to do so. We'll put them in the build queue. And so, yeah, let's get to recruiting leaders. So, of course, we're going to be pulling 2 cards off of each of our action decks for the Rebel Alliance. And for the Galactic Empire, we'll just take a look and see who the Rebel Alliance chooses, and then we will go ahead and take a look at our own 2 choices and decide which one we want to keep as our next leader to add to our pool. Alright, it looks like the Rebels have chosen, and they have their leader, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he's showing up. He's got 1 for space battles, a 3 for ground combat, 3 influence, and 3 intel, and 1 influence for Ben Kenobi. Alright, so we are going to take a look at the 2 cards we get for the Imperial Empire player, and we're going to make a decision on which of the 2 leaders, or maybe we have a choice of 3 or 4, it depends on the cards, that we're going to choose for our Empire. Alright, so the 2 cards off the top of our deck are going to be, not sure who that is, and we have, not sure who that is. So, we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to grab the cards, or the tokens, out of the box for them, and we're going to take a closer look. Okay, so we have 3 juicy choices here. We have Colonel Yularen. He's got 3 influence, 3 intel, 2 and 2. That's a pretty powerful character. He only has the 1 ability though, but that's not bad. Then we have Ozzel, Admiral Ozzel here. He's got a 2 and a 1, and he's got research and intel. Then we have Sunterfell, and he has 2 and 1 as well. He's got a couple of strength and an intel. So a little bit tough decisions. I mean, if we're taking a look at the Rebel Alliance, they've got some pretty good intel people. You know, I think we're going to go ahead with this one. He's got 2 and 2 as well if we want to get into some space battles or ground battles. But we're going with Yularen, adding him to our roster. Alright, so we got a fine looking crew now. We've got Vader, Palpatine, we have Piet, Tarkin, Fett, Tage, and Yularen. Right on, so this is our crew, our leader pool. Up next in the recruit phase, now we're into the build phase, and here's where we should be shining as the Empire. We have a ton of stuff to build, but we're going to do the Rebel Alliance first, and yes, I have to remember the Rebel base also builds units. Let's get to that. And I know I'm playing an objective card slightly out of order. I apologize for that. I am trying to do playing both sides, and I kind of forgot about that. So at the very, very beginning of the refresh phase, which was a while ago, retrieving the leaders, this would have triggered the Rebel Alliance would have played it. I'll just let you know I'm doing this slightly out of sequence. This also says at the start of the refresh phrase, so this would have happened. It says play if at least 4 Rebel systems contain a Rebel unit. And that is in fact true, so that's going to be that's going to be an objective gained, and it was a 1 for the Rebel Alliance because they have units in an Imperial system Kashyyyk, they have units in Balthawi, they have units in Rhodia, they also have units in their Rebel base, which is just up here. So that actually triggers, so we're going to go to the turn marker, and we're going to move the influence of the Rebel Alliance down the track 1 space. Alright, so that was a nice move from the Rebels, and it's going to move their marker down, getting ever closer to the turn marker, so giving the Empire a little bit less time to try and find and destroy or take over the base. I just wanted to get that in there. I know that was out of sequence, I apologize. Alright, now we're going to get to the building, and we're going to start with the Rebel Alliance. And I don't know if you can quite see it. We're just going to zoom right in here on the Rebel base, and we'll see what they're building. Alright, so up here at the Rebel base, which is the planet, we don't know where it is. It's 1 on the build queue. They're going to be building an X-Wing and a Rebel Trooper. So an X-Wing and a Trooper go on space 1. And yes, I'm using the same build queue for both because I'm playing both sides. Of course, Rebel information is hidden, so I'm just putting them all in the same build queue instead of there's another part of the board up here for the Rebel Alliance, but because I'm on the one side, I'm just doing it here. So for the Rebel base, we have Stormtrooper, we have a Rebel Trooper, and we have an X-Wing. Alright, let's continue on to the next Rebel system. Alright, so way up at Ba-the-Wee, we have a Rebel Alliance here, Rebel Alliance Loyalty. We're going to be building one air speeder, and that is going on location 1. Alright, air speeder location 1. So the Rebel forces are massing. They still have a couple of more systems. Let's get to it. Kashyyyk, home of the Wookiees, is also loyal to the Rebel Alliance. That is 2 more Rebel troopers, and that is also in location 1. Alright, couple of more Rebel troopers. They're building up some pretty good forces here, but I think once you see the Imperials pumping out their units on here, you're going to see a little bit of a difference. We already have a Star Destroyer, a TIE Fighter. Alright, that was Ba-the-Wee. Over now, that was Kashyyyk. Our final system, Rhodia. And finally, the final Rebel Alliance system that is loyal is right here at Rhodia, the 4th system, and that is 1 more Rebel Trooper on location, or build Q1. Alright, so 1 final Trooper here, build Q1, and now it is time for the Empire to start building. So we're going to start from the kind of the left side of our galactic map and move towards the right and see what we're building for the Galactic Empire. Alright, way up here, the newly acquired Kessel system is subjugated, but there's only 1 build queue, and it's 1, and that will be a ground troop, and that's going to be a Stormtrooper, so we get 1 Stormtrooper there in build queue 1. Alright, let's start building up those Imperial forces. There's our Stormtrooper. Alright, that's 1 system down. We've got quite a few to go. Let's keep going. Alright, another system that is totally controlled by the Empire is Sulukami. I don't know how you say it, but we're going to put a bead on there because we're going to be building a round ground unit, and that is the ATST, and that is also going in Q1. Alright, let's pop down a nice little ATST to go with our Stormtrooper. Alright, we've got lots more planets to build at. Alright, we're going to knock off 2 subjugated planets with 1 fell swoop, so we're going to be looking at Mandalore, and we're also looking at Ord Mantell. And what happens here is, because they're subjugated, you only get the farthest left build. So this is going to be an assault carrier. It's 1 assault carrier for there, and we get a Stormtrooper there. So the Stormtrooper is going to go in Q1, and the assault carrier is going to go in Q2. Alright, so we get the Stormtrooper in Q1, so he's going to be coming out right this turn. We also get a assault carrier in Q2. Alright, moving on to the next planets that we control. Alright, so we're looking right here. We've got Coruscant, of course, always completely loyal to the Empire. And right here we have 1 Stormtrooper in Q1, and unfortunately Corellia is sabotaged. There will be no build queue activity happening there, but I just thought I'd point that out anyway. So I'll be putting the beads on both of them just to know that I've already covered them off. So Coruscant will be building a Stormtrooper in Q1, and Corellia will be building nothing, but we have Princess Leia captured there anyway. Alright, another Stormtrooper, Q1, and we still have, I do believe, 3 more planets to go. Way up here at Naboo, we have our Super Star Destroyer ready to go. And it looks like Q1, we only get the far left because it's subjugated. We get the Stormtrooper, the ever popular Stormtrooper. So we're going to get 1 Stormtrooper, and we're going to put that in Q1. Alright, so another Stormtrooper. We're piling them up nicely. I love it. Alright, back to the board. We still have 3 more systems to go. I think we can knock these 2 off with 1 shot. So they're both subjugated. We get the far left build, and we are going to end up getting an ATST for Bespin on Q1, and we're going to be getting a Stormtrooper in Q2 for Celeste. Let's put that on the board. Alright, so we get a Stormtrooper Q2 for Celeste, and we get another ATST on build Q1. And you can see the Empire, yes, building up a lot of troops. We still have one final planet to build at. And let's finish off our build for the Galactic Empire. And that's right up here at Mustafar. We have total Imperial control there. So we get the total build queue. So we are going to get a TIE fighter, and we're going to get a assault carrier, and that's going to be in Q2. So let's place those in the queue. Alright, so in Q2 we get another assault carrier. We get a couple in there now. We also get a TIE fighter showing up. Alright, that's our build queue. Now, of course, at the end of building, we're going to be deploying units, so everything's going to slide down the track 1, so let's do that. Alright, everything's sliding down the Q1, so everything in 1 comes off the board. So all the Rebel Alliance troops come off, and all of the Empire units come off. And all of these units will slide down 1 into Q1. For the end of the next phase, they will be sliding off. So we're going to be deploying all of these units now on the board. Now each system that has either loyalty, subjugation to the particular faction, the Rebel Alliance, or the Empire, will be able to put a maximum of 2 units in that system. So let's do the Rebel Alliance first. Alright, on Kashyyyk, the Rebel Alliance is going to drop down a couple of Rebel troopers just to shore up defenses there. So there we go for that one. And they have a Snowspeeder, an X-Wing, and a couple Rebel Alliance troopers left. Let's see where else they want to put them. Alright, you know there's going to be a major dust-up happening here. They are going to put a Snowspeeder down here on Rhodia, as well as the X-Wing. So that's the 2 units to Rhodia. So I have a funny feeling next turn there's going to be a pretty big battle happening there. They still have 2 Rebel troopers to place. So let's see where they want to put them. Alright, they are going to place 1 Rebel trooper at Bothawui. And the last one they are going to put into their Rebel base. Alright, so the last unit they're placing is in their Rebel base itself. So now they've got 5 Rebel troopers, a Snowspeeder, a Y-Wing, an X-Wing, we have a power generator, and an ion cannon, all sitting in the Rebel base. We don't know where the Rebel base is yet, but we will find it. Okay, that's placing all of the Rebel units. It's time now to place our Imperial units down. Alright, so over here at Naboo, we are going to be placing down an TIE fighter, and we're going to be placing down an ATST. So there we go there, and I'm going to put a bead on there so I know that we've placed our 2 units down in the system. Alright, we still have an Imperial Star Destroyer, 4 troopers, and ATST to place, so let's get to that. Alright, in the captured system, we've captured Princess Leia and Corellia. We're going to place down an Imperial Star Destroyer down there, and we're also going to place down a Rebel Trooper in there as well. Alright, we still have 3 Rebel Troopers and ATST to place, and yeah, we'll put a bead down here in Corellia so that we know we've already placed everything there. Let's get back to some more placements. Alright, we've got the Death Star here, so we're going to place a Rebel, or an Imperial Stormtrooper there, an ATST as well at Mandalore, and so that now has gotten 2 units. That's as much as it can get. I'm going to place that down there as well. Alright, we still have 2 Stormtroopers to place, and I'm going to figure out where we want them. Alright, Mustafar is looking pretty skimpy here, so we're going to put down an Imperial Stormtrooper there. Just 1 to shore that place up. So I'm just going to say we've placed units in that system. And let's go over to our final Stormtrooper placement into Selakami. Alright, Selakami is way up here. It's Imperial Loyal, so we're going to put another Stormtrooper in there just in case the Rebels want to try something sneaky on the next turn. And that will then finish off the entire turn is now finished with deploying units. Alright, I'm going to zoom the camera out. We are going to end off our episode here for today. And yeah, that's where we sit. Alright, so here we sit at the end of the 3rd turn, I do believe. Yes, indeed. End of the 3rd turn. So we have quite a build up here at Mandalore with the Death Star, 5 TIE fighters, and 2 ATSTs, 3 troopers. Who knows? Maybe as the Empire, we can come in here and try to crush Kashyyyk, perhaps. Who knows? And yeah, we've got a lot of build up at Naboo. We've got a whole bunch of stuff going in Corellia. We do have a lot of actual troops as the Empire. Of course, the name of the game is we need to find out. Oh, and I guess I can put on Coruscant that it is not the Rebel Alliance. Of course, it can't be. But anyway, so thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Star Wars Rebellion. We are playing as the Empire with the of course, hidden information for the Rebel Alliance. And I could take these off now. That was troop placement. And yes, so we're going to be back in our next episode, Super Star Destroyer, to continue on the beginning of turn 4, where we're going to see what the Rebel Alliance does for missions, allocations. They now have 6 leaders in their pool. They have Princess Leia still captured. We've got 7 leaders in our pool. And we have a whole bunch of really cool things we can do. We also have Piet here and Tarkin, so these 2 missions might be actually very good to do because we get a 2 bonus to do them. And as far as missions and objectives, we're 1, 2, no, not objectives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9, so we're well within our limits. So yes, our projects and missions count towards the 10 card hand total. The objectives for the Rebel Alliance do not count towards their limit. They have 1 objectives left, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missions. So thanks so much, and yeah, we'll see you next time. I don't know when I'm going to get the next episode up. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and we'll continue on with the game. We are trying to close in, find the Rebel base. We still have, I guess we can look at the the droid deck, 1, 2, 3. There doesn't seem like this many systems, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, including the Rebel base. There's still 20 possible systems where the Rebels are hiding out. We sort of seem to have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have like 6 or 7 turns left to find them and get rid of them. They're probably in some outlying planet somewhere, but we don't really know where. We do have a lot of troops out here now, a lot of assault carriers, Imperial Star Destroyers. We can start moving our troops around pretty rapidly, taking over places. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time for Star Wars Rebellion. We're playing the Empire. We're going to crush that Rebel Alliance.